wireless is bad. Okay, so a while ago Mambo did this funny, was it funny? A cool video where he made a messaging system, and the whole thing about this messaging system was that it was wireless. Well, let me ask you a question real quick. Would you rather hook your stationary PC up to a Wi-Fi or to a cable? That's right, you hook your PC up to a cable. Why? Because, well, if you don't move something around, then why would it be wireless when it can be wired and faster, you know? So today I'm gonna be doing something similar to what Mambo did, but it's going to be wired, and that's going to be main difference. And, well, it's going to be wired. And faster, most importantly. Because why would you make something like this wireless? There's no point in doing that. Am I doing videos on other videos that are 5 months old? Absolutely yes. I only have a rough idea of how this is going to work. But, okay, why did I break that block? I only have a rough idea of how this is going to work. But I don't really know how this is going to work. Now that I think about it, it would be much easier to just send a piece of paper with the code for a message that you want to send, and then you just decode that. That'd be boring. I'm just gonna make a cable. I'm not doing a water stream or anything like that. Hello, this is me from the future. I did a very bad job explaining when I was recording, so let me do that again. The idea behind the whole system looks like that. You have a machine, let's name it S for sender, let's say, that will send a number of pulses depending on the message you chose to send. So for example, you choose a message number 5. The machine sends 5 pulses. And then on the other side of the cable, you're gonna have a machine R for a receiver that will receive the pulses, and then will count them, and based on the number of the pulses received, will show up a message on the screen, or will just give you a message on a piece of paper or anything like that. It doesn't really matter. That's the end of the explanation segment. Let's go back to the video. Okay, let me just experiment a bit. So you could just have something like this. Crimson fence gates. So that sends 5 of those. So we could just make a system that, depending on the button you press, will keep the pulse of this thing for a certain period of time, and that will allow it to send a certain number of pulses. Hold on, I've just got an idea that might actually work. So if you have something like this, you know what, let's make it a little bit further away. That will make my life easier in just a second. And then you have a redstone line going like this. And then you have a repeater here, and then you press the button. It shot 12 items. Are my... Shut up. So that's... Shoot 12 of those. And now if we place the repeater here... That was 11. We're onto something. We need to modify this design slightly. Okay, so we have a redstone line. And then we have a set of pistons. And then we have a set of repeaters. Like that. So if you have something like this. And then you have a button here. Oh, I've just realized. This whole thing was supposed to be 1 block higher. Or we could just make the pistons 1 block lower. Stand by, we're just having minor technical difficulties. Nothing to worry about. But now if this lever is on, we should see that this thing spits out 12 of those. And now, if this one is on, we should see 11. And now if we turn this lever on, we should only see 1, or will it be 2? It's much more. Oh, Jesus. That was sick. That's a problem, because that means the whole thing doesn't scale 1 to 1. Oh, you know what? I've just remembered that Mambo did a thing with the lectern. I just want to finish doing this, and then we'll see if there was an option for me to do it 10 times easier and actually make it 15 messages as well. Okay, so we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And now if you go to the last page, E, yes, we should see that this has the power of 1. Okay. And now I need to make some sort of a circuit. That might actually be a little bit trickier than I thought. Okay, so let's see if it's going to work like that. This one receives the signal strength of... Okay, it's not going to work like that. I've just realized that this is an unnecessarily long way to do this. Yeah, this whole thing is just unnecessarily complicated. The theme for my redstone builds. Oh no, we can't actually do it like that, because then the pulse wouldn't have the length of 1 anymore. 0, 1, and then this would be 1 again, which breaks the whole thing. God damn it. Maybe it's not unnecessarily complicated overall. Because I just realized if you want to have, you know, just more and more repeaters going into each and every next one of them, then you're gonna run into problems with the pulses being, with either the pulses being too long, and then merging into one long pulse here, where there's going to be a second redstone line. And this line is going to be the one that sends signals. I could just place a hopper here, and that would be it. Like under all those pistons. And then just run pretty much just a single line here. But the problem would be that then we'd have to collect those items, and then they'd have to go through a hopper, which is slow, and we want speed. We have this design working. Why am I even spending time on this? Well, because this could give us more messages, and could be much more compact at the same time. But it seems that there's yet another problem. Still 7. I really don't know what to do here. I'm starting to run out of ideas. I mean, I could still just use this, but now that I've realized you could actually do better with the lectern. You know what? I'm just gonna rework this whole thing, pretty much. Well, so I've built this, but it's not capable of sending messages in a nice way, you could call it from a redstone perspective. It's also pretty slow, and at the same time it's quite bulky and doesn't send that many messages, but then this doesn't work at all, although in theory it should. And I'm trying to do this, to make this. And the way I'm going to do this is by placing redstone torches underneath the pistons, and then just placing a ton of repeaters, and that will hopefully work. I actually want to go with 2 lines now, because that will be faster. Because if you have a single line, you need to send a 1-tick pulse, then you need to wait for it to turn off, and then you can send the next one. Whereas with alternating pulses, you can just send one pulse on one of the lines, and then have the other one turned off, and then just switch them. So turn this one on, and then turn this one off, and that's 2 cycles already. I mean, not really cycles, changes. And that can be picked up by the decoder of the message. So it's faster. And that's still only one side. Oh, this whole thing is going to be massive. Or we could actually wire the pistons downwards. It might work. This should spit out 7 levers. Why? Oh no, it was set to only 4. Never mind. Yeah, 7. Yes. Now just a quick little test. Six. Excuse me. Okay, never mind. I didn't connect the last piston. Now it should be 7. And it was. Great. Now we have the sender, pretty much This is the one. Okay, so now let's make a line that we will use to send signals. Great, and now we need a decoder. How could such a decoder work? We need something that will count the amount of pulses sent. Okay, let's mark this as the end of this whole thing. I don't think that's going to work, actually. And then, oh no, it is actually going to work. And now we should do the same thing again. No, it's not going to work like that. Wait, no. So if I send one pulse, only the first lamp turns on, and then turns off. But if I send two pulses, two lamps turn on. No, this thing is going to be massive. That's only two signals, and we need to distinguish between 14 of them. Okay, so just a little test with only two of those. There's no modules chained together, so it's not really a proper test of if it's working or not. I think I was supposed to press something. What the hell did just happen here? Oh, I see. Yes, only one of them turned on. Both of them turned on. That's a very good sign. Now comes the great test. If it works, I'm going to be very pleased. If it doesn't, I'm going to go cry or something along those lines, I suppose. Page 5. All of those should turn on, all of those modules. So all 4 lamps. Yes! Hold on. 4. Only 3 should turn on. Well, that's not good. I fucking hate you. Yes! Yes! Since they turn out to be like an actual working design, I think I can explain now how they actually work. So, the whole principle is that pretty much if there's one signal coming through, all it's going to do is it's going to activate that piston. What it's going to do is it's going to go this way first. Wait, I've just realized something. Why is this line here? That's gonna mess up a lot of things. It's not supposed to be there. Okay. That's gonna make the design a whole lot easier. The problem has been fixed. Let's go back to explaining how they actually work. So, if a singular pulse comes through, what it's gonna do, it's going to first go to those repeaters, because they have less delay on them than those combined. And it's gonna try to send signal through this. But there's no block here, which means that the signal will not go through. However, one tick after this happens, this circuit activates, which will extend the piston and at the same time give off a signal to let the rest of the encoder that's going to be built know that one signal went through. And then if a second one comes through, the piston is going to be already extended because there's a pulse extender which will keep the signal for some time. So that when a signal comes through, the block's going to be here because the piston will be extended. So the second one will go through and activate this lamp and this piston, and then if a third one comes, it's going to actually go through this piston to the next module. And then you end up with the number of lamps being turned on that's the equivalent of the total number of pulses that went through. That's pretty much the idea behind this. Okay, so the bottom line is done. So then all of those signals will have to be combined in a way that will make the system pay attention only to the one that's the least. I mean the last. That is 6, we need one more. So now comes the great test. So let's hypothetically say that we want to send a message under the page 15, which is apparently just E. I forgot to send the message. Okay, so the top row worked just fine, but the bottom one didn't, which worries me a bit. What happened? Failed to send the message through here. Oh, I just didn't place redstone here. Okay, that makes perfect sense. And once again, we got number 15, number 14 actually. So now, let's say like the number 11, which is message number 10. We've got, I think that was 10. Why is this just a single pulse, by the way? Oh, okay, that explains it. 11, which is 10 pulses, so the last two ones should stay off, and every single other one, yes! Yes! We're actually having progress here. Okay, so we need a gate. If this one is on... Oh no, I don't think it should work that way. Oh no, it should, because now we can just chain them all together and make... Pretty much this one will turn off this one. And then this one will turn off this one, and then this one will turn off this, and like that. Is this? Oh no, I see. Oh, that's the distance this signal will have to travel every time. Yeah, I didn't build this in the most compact way. That's for sure. Oh, and I've just realized I've been chaining them wrong. I think because this one is not supposed to turn this one off. It's this one that's supposed to turn... this one is supposed to turn this one off. No, no, oh gosh, why? We could solve that by just arranging the dispensers differently, I think. No, we can't. At least I don't think we can. Well, so... that means we've gotta rework all of this. I hate my life. Okay, we've got all of them. Let's say that I want to send the message number 2, which is page 3. And now if we break that block, that was the message number 2. That's nice. And if we send the message number 1, let's say, only this one turns on. Okay, so now, message number, let's say, 8. It's only this one firing. The only thing left now is to add a water stream. I'll be back in a second. And here it is. Behold the superior messaging system. It's really big. So the rule is simple. You pretty much just stand here, choose your message. You have plenty of cool messages. You have, I need your help, want to come over to you, give diamonds and to my base. A lot of different messages. And then when you select the one you want to select, you break that block. That's a temporary solution. Everything's working fine. I think one of them should something out. Here's your sign. You've got a message. You like jazz. At the moment it's one way only. That's the biggest problem. I mean, I could just build this over there as well and then build this here, but honestly I just don't really feel like rebuilding this whole thing again. But it works, I suppose, and it's much faster than the wireless version that Mumbo did. As expected. This is really fast. So I think we've reached a conclusion, which was expected from the very beginning. Don't make things wireless when you don't have to. Hold on, I hate that input methods. Just give me a second. Beautiful interface. So now you select the message. You send the message. And the message arrives. And just arrived. Yeah, it's miles faster. Yeah, it was pretty fun. It took me like 5 hours to develop because I did 2 sending systems and I wasn't happy with either of them. I think the hardest part of all of this was making this. The circuit that counts the amount of pulses. And it works. It's very fast. It's extremely fast. So yeah, take that, Mumbo, I guess.